Oh,
Oh, now you're just going to keep tripping us up with it. Okay, I see.
hello, and welcome to our gathering of heroes. These are the would-be heroes of the Marvel Universe in actual play using the relatively new Marvel Multiverse 616 TTRPG system. Warning, this is a game that can also explore mature themes, and while we'll be specifically avoiding some topics, the game may still include body horror, gore, violence, and other topics. Our players have discussed consent and boundaries, and we collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. Players will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using yellow and red cards in our private chat. If you ever feel uncomfortable or triggered, please pause and step away. Our streams will be available on YouTube after the game, and you can always come back to an episode when you feel ready. Quick acknowledgements to Roll20, the official virtual tabletop of the Marvel Multiverse 616 system. Demiplane, a platform to make games better with high-quality tools that enhance the ways games can be played, shared, and explored. And to Marvel Comics, without whom none of this would be happening. And now let's do a quick introduction of our cast, including a new friend. Not the gnome. And fine, let's start with Glitch.
Wow. Okay.
Want to do that? Okay, we'll just do
Yeah. All right. All right. I see how it is. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Glitch, and tonight I will be playing the very stressed, very tired Alexi, aka Anima.
why.
Oh, I wonder.
Aya.
Sometimes I have to make sure that I'm not muted. Hello, I'm Aya. I play Dualily, or the most adorable little magical girl you've ever seen. Lily.
I love that.
Nora. Welcome back, Ben.
Thank you.
We missed you.
Yes. Alas, I did not get it, but that's okay. I'm Dora, Pandora Beatrix. I play Penelope Parator, aka Beholder.
Cassidy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cassie, better known throughout the internet as Random Attempt. And tonight I will be playing Samantha Holmes, aka Liberty Last. Bam! Down in one.
Good job.
We achieved greatness.
Nailed it.
Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam, better known as Soulbind most places on the internet. Tonight I'll be playing Cal Winters, aka Dreadfire. Killer of Gnomes.
Murderer
No.
of sons.
And someone new. Rem, welcome.
Hello. I'm Rem. I'm Rem of the Realm on most social media, and I will be playing Brigitte, a Valkyrie of Asgard.
What, you may ask? How did the Valkyrie of Asgard come to visit our tiny little corner of the multiverse? Have to watch the other episode to find out exactly. But speaking of other episodes, because some of you weren't here and some listeners might not have seen it, it would behoove me to give you a synopsis of just exactly what happened. You see, once upon a time,
In a galaxy
because
far,
of
far
events
away.
that have been happening, and because Alexi got a snoot full of magic dust, essentially, which transported them to, or their consciousness to a different plane. This was disturbing, and so the group decided to kill birds with one stone, figuratively speaking, because Liberty Lass had also gone a snooping to her, or at least to the company that had something to do with her gaining powers, and wanted to find out more. Had found a barrel with some mysterious bottom, abnormally heavy, but before she could do anything about it, she had to go and do another thing. But left the barrel in the hopes of retrieving it. So, with that in mind, Alexi and Cal decided to go straight to Alexi's parents to see if Alexi's parents had any idea what was going on, while Lily and Samantha, Liberty Lass, decided to see if they could retrieve the discarded barrel. A couple of successful vigilance checks led them to realize that there was a trap. And there were trained snipers aiming in the general vicinity of the roof with the barrel left out in plain sight as almost a little bit of a mousetrap. Discretion being the better part of valor, they decided instead to join Alexei and Cal at Alexei's parents. Fast forward, as one does through the comics, to Alexei's parents, where Alexei confronted her parents, and her parents were all, make Avalon great again. And it kind of went down pretty much as you can expect, with their parents knowing exactly what's going on, exactly what's coming, and saying that Alexei wasn't old enough yet or wasn't ready for it because Alexei hadn't all of her powers their powers manifest, etc., etc., etc. Samantha and Dualily waited outside in the park. For some reason, they had the thought that it might not be a great idea to expose Lily to dangerous elements.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Maybe.
know, drug bust or something. I don't know. And when, upon arrival, Alexei and Cal noted that there were many garden gnomes in the yard, a manicured lawn, the whole sort of upper middle class suburban household with the deep green lawn, etc., and many garden gnomes. Alexei always thought they were kitsch until they moved. More specifically, when Alexei and Cal's yes, down in the
I have to say that the small correction, the only person who ever saw the gnomes move before they went in the house was Liberty Lass, because they all thought I was freaking crazy when I was like, hey gnome, what up?
Okay, but you then proceeded to befriend one of them. So, like, who's really the crazy one here?
Hey, love,
Let's not interrupt the
violence.
narrator.
Okay, so to be fair, they were
Hey.
trained to specifically not move whenever Alexei was around. The revelation was traumatic, but probably not unexpected. Alexei and Cal start leaving before Alexei's father decided to complete his transformation into a giant bear. They leave through the front door. All the garden gnomes are gone, and they cross the street, to which Samantha has befriended one of her own. It didn't want to leave, didn't want them to leave more specifically, and had to be convinced to cease its attempt at stalking by Cal field goal kicking it across the field, which caused a tremendous amount of damage and caused it to shatter into a bazillion pieces. Negotiations were still. And everyone left. Alexei feeling a little confused, a little bereft, turning into a sparrow, failing the vigilance check. And the night was, Alexei flew away a slightly different direction and eventually back to base. That was more or less the. So now you've all returned, ruminated, and yeah, there's a whole new thing going on, because the lab itself, so it's important for Dr. Penelope, the lab itself has now been set up with various things and spectrometers and what have you in order to more deeply analyze the various crystals, of which there are a number now.
Or at all.
Oh, some
more
examination
deeply than
happened.
0.
There are now
Examination is
Three.
such a broad term.
as I mean, Al had been carrying one around the whole time.
Seems safer that way.
So that said, what are you all doing?
Well, if we're back to base,
Yeah, we can say that.
Lee is gonna go check
Send
on
you from the-
Penelope. See what she's up to.
Dora's like, what in the hell?
The child is just
Yeah,
like wandering
you
the
have
building.
you have my list of things I'm doing. You tell me.
You do.
I I presume I've been in the lab attempting to make any kind of progress on that.
You likely had to clean up a mess in the lab because there were some experiments that happened. And look, a guy got teleported away. We went to Niflheim for a minute. I can turn off shards, apparently. And yeah, if you touch the drugs, it takes you places, but apparently not all to the same place.
And not everybody.
And maybe, well, I don't know. There's very small sample size.
Hmm. Hmm.
Are we having this conversation in character?
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do
Okay.
Like happening outside the lab.
it. Yeah, I imagine
I was
because
like,
I go,
before
who
you
the
go in
hell
there."
was in here? Yeah.
So I feel like we really need 2 labs, right? We need the lab, and then we need the children's lab. And then, children can use the children's lab, and then the other lab can be used by grown-ups. Because
One
this
where
is
you
not
dig in
this
the
is not
sand.
okay.
I already
Like,
got the bones in it.
doesn't matter that we can replace everything that's broken and permanently decalibrated.
I
Because,
didn't do any of it. What do you mean?
Because Gideon's rich, but really, like, this is not okay. Like,
Children's lab Lily had nothing to do with this.
I mean, they brought their
Lily's
magic.
insulted.
They brought their magic person that's supposed to be an expert. He's the one that got teleported away, though. He's still gone, I think.
I love that your camera is zooming in on you as you say this.
Very
so,
sensible.
Niflheim sounds like a Norse thing. Is that a Norse thing?
Yeah. So
I'm imagining that Brigitte would be sort of acclimatizing herself to the new digs.
Yeah.
And late night raiding of the fridge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on this level sort of thing, because this is the same level where there's like a exercise room and such, you're sort of just grabbing yourself a snack on the way. And you walk past the lab and you hear the word Niflheim.
Well, maybe I'll go and kind of poke my head in. Just greetings, heroes of Midgard. I don't mean to interrupt. Are you busy?
Lily is going to scream and hide underneath a chair.
The woman that sticks her head around the corner.
I'm gonna sit on the chair to hide Lily further. So,
Are you also in the lab?
Everybody's sort of debriefing.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
we all kind of
got it,
came
got
in
it, got it.
together.
The woman that sticks her head around the corner is auburn-haired with a... Would you wear the headdress all the time?
Probably not, but probably still wearing kind of like, I don't know, maybe more
Armor?
simple sort of Asgardian armor, like more leather, some like little bits of metal and things.
6'5" wall of muscle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
All right.
Apologies. I didn't mean to frighten you. Are you all right?
Was getting to that. Asgard.
Greetings.
We got a
Oh.
Valkyrie.
What's a Valkyrie?
Wait,
We brought it
what?
home.
You've not
I-
heard of Valkyrie here.
Lily is 10. So Valkyrie
In
is
Lily's
probably
defense,
like
Lily is 10.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
When we say child, we mean child.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Valkyrie are an elite team of warriors in Asgard, typically comprised of women. I'm sure if you could, if you wanted, you could be a Valkyrie someday.
Ooh.
You
They're,
know,
they're people from another planet that Vikings deeply misunderstood. Well, maybe not deeply, from what I've heard.
I met the god of their underworld. It was strange.
Okay.
Oh, by the
So many
way,
questions.
We're just leaving that, huh? Okay. It was
Mhm.
strange.
There's more.
Period. Full stop. And then we moved on.
well, it was a lot. Yesterday was a lot. Yeah. So let me just start from the beginning. I was downstairs working on a bike, minding my business. And I guess the other guys in here in the lab had made a crystal shard detector thing. And so they're running around the base looking for these crystals because apparently they had 2 here and they found another one, which was the one in my back pocket that I always carry around. So they found me and then they wanted to do experiments. So I let them borrow my shard. And somehow that turned into we should touch the drugs. So I decided to participate in their experiment.
Okay, so I never went to school or anything, but that doesn't sound like how like science should work.
Definitely
agree.
is not.
It
Definitely
depends
is
on
not.
what you actually did. Like was the data gathering just like literally watching with your eyes?
I think Raylon
did
recorded it.
people actually set up? Okay, that's something.
It's on his it's on his TikTok. I don't know if that helps, but
We're
I have
supposed to be.
concerns about security measures now
oh
with
shit,
that being on
Synapse
TikTok.
Synapse has a scrambly thing. It covers everybody's faces up.
That's not what we're worried
I don't know if that
I don't
super
know.
makes me feel better. It's the whole
I don't
footage
love
of
it either.
Asgard thing that
Well, I mean, it didn't go with us. So we went somewhere else. Like he didn't come with us with the TikTok. He was here.
Just-
We went there, and then we
oh
came back.
so the footage is just like of you guys like what
Staring at the wall, probably.
Oh,
So
all
that was what I
right.
was going to ask. So did you actually go, or did it feel like you go? But
Well, the one guy, he's gone. I don't know where he went. He's gone. The 2 of us,
Right.
though, yeah, we just had like a shared vision. Oh, Gary was there. Gary was there by himself. It was like the 3 of us.
Like separated from you?
Yeah.
Like,
Also, Gary's dead. Interesting turn of fact.
no.
Yeah.
Concerned. Questions continue to pile up. Will I
Gary.
continue letting you explain?
The very nice dead lady said that he was supposed to be there a long time ago, that I didn't belong there, and that Gideon should never have left. And then she kept calling him brother.
So Gideon is gone? Poof?
No, he went with me. He's back. He's around here somewhere.
Then who's poof?
So many more
Solstice.
concerns about Gideon.
I
Yeah,
want to go on an
apparently-
adventure now. You guys
No.
get to
We
go
knew-
on all kinds of cool adventures.
We knew he was
No.
old. Apparently, he's like 2,000 years old.
No. Oh,
Or something.
my dear Lord.
who's Gary?
As
Wait. I like her. That's right to the meat of the issue.
yeah, that's usually how that goes, honestly. Gary's the other guy. Well, the other half of the other guy that makes me do stuff, gives me the ability to do stuff.
So have
The
you
spooky,
lost?
the spooky half.
Can you still do spooky half stuff?
Oh yeah, he's still here. He came back with me. I don't think we were actually there. It's more
Oh,
like we were
okay.
just.
So when you said dead, you meant it as this is a condition that the entity that continues to exist and interact with you has, not a this is gone.
Yeah,
now.
no. Presumably he was dead when I met him.
Oh,
I just have to
He's a
sort of
ghost.
adapt
I
to
mean,
that.
that kind of fits if
framework.
you think about it.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Something common amongst me guardians.
What?
Is what common?
To have the souls of your dead re-inhabit the living?
no, not common at all.
I would say no, but
Smashing that now? No.
you can't really be sure of a lot these days because people just don't say things. I mean,
it's
plenty
not.
of stuff I don't tell people, so
I don't think it's
hard to judge, right?
common though.
Do you see dead people?
Personally, I mean, not that
Yeah.
I know of. Like, do they look like people that aren't normal people? Would I be able to tell the difference?
Yeah, Gary.
Presumably-
Like
We can
actually
do a lot
poking
of
people with my
existential-
finger.
I'll tell you a secret if you tell me a secret,
Lily, why are we sharing secrets? What?
because
Huh?
that's what friends do.
Okay, sweetheart.
With
And
who?
I'm
With
curious
me?
about what kind of things that Penelope doesn't
Oh.
tell people.
Nothing that like they don't need to know. Why would you even
Wow.
do that?
Because then you're being dishonest.
Not
You gotta tell
dishonest.
everybody
I'm being
everything.
unforthcoming. It's completely different.
Unforthcoming.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, I feel like we're getting into
That's
a lot
okay.
of semantics.
That's
and I still have so many.
today's lesson.
So,
That's good.
Mhm.
so dead lady Gideon called brother going from there.
Yeah, I think
Please.
they said her name was Hella.
Hello to you too.
Is that
Okay.
is that right?
No.
Yes.
Is it-
Hela, the goddess who her domain is our underworld.
Hmm. Yeah, it was
Okay.
not. It could use some redecorating. A lot of bodies stuff. It was.
Well, I mean, if it's a version of the underworld, then yeah.
Could
Well,
use
but
some
like,
drapes.
I
or
don't
something.
mean I don't know what it is for Norse, but like with what I vaguely follow, you have Greek stuff. Yeah, bodies.
Yeah,
But,
it was,
like-
it was a theme.
if you're
well, I mean,
in
yeah.
the underworld, right? The
Mhm.
bodies there were dead, and not like
Well, they weren't like entire body. There was. I think it's more of a motif. There was some skulls.
oh,
Mm.
okay, okay.
Mm.
It's an
I
aesthetic.
mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that's an aesthetic.
Well, because I'm just trying to think, because like, so if we're positing for the moment that that some of the other dimensions are places where we're gonna go ahead and call it mental energy goes when your body stops working properly,
Sure.
and then you get a new body, I guess, in that place because the dimension works slightly differently. But then why couldn't that mean that if the same thing happens there, there's not yet another dimension that you go, and there's just an endless chain of other dimensions you keep going to whenever your body stops working?
I mean, plausible, I suppose.
I mean,
Like reincarnation.
So
that would be
and
a
then-
circle, but yeah.
I mean, the dimensions could be a
Um,
circle.
Wait.
They could be a snake or a smiley face too.
I really don't want to think about other dimensions.
How would
So
it be a smiley face?
Because I want it to be a smiley face. I
But,
want
like, if
something
you
in this
could-
world to be happy.
If you connected all the dots, that would be like a sickle. Like,
Oh, that's even better.
well, I mean, very deathy, I guess, but
Solstice, yeah. Well, we kind of had a guess that because you came in contact with the stuff, and
Yeah.
you went and saw Mab,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe, and no offense if I've misunderstood the cosmology of the situation, but I think you guys are like your family's from the same place that his family is from, loosely. So we thought maybe he got sent there.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So he
Well,
might be
that
there.
knowing what that's not.
Yeah, it's not good.
Is it? Are we figuring out a way to get him not there anymore? Because knowing what we know now, that's bad. That's not good. I
Yeah.
don't like the thought of him stuck there,
Well,
even though I
Darren-
have not met him yet. But that's still
He's nice.
not great.
I have a question.
Just one.
Fairy map?
Oh.
Queen map?
That way,
etc.?
that's a complicated answer. I think kind
Probably
of yes and no.
It's chicken before the egg kind of thing, I think, maybe.
It's
But yeah,
That in the same way that Vikings deeply misunderstood people from another planet.
precisely.
yes, precisely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my
Probably same person, just very much not written in the same way, because the map that the few of us have so far interacted with, not
What-
great.
What was that word they used, Brigitte? Was it Svartalfheim?
Yes, Svartalfheim, the home of the Dark Elves.
That's where Solstice is from. Apparently, we think
where
also,
Solstice is.
well, that's a guess.
Well,
So the thing we figured
yeah,
out
because I don't think
is the shards, wherever they're from, and I'm starting to think they're not from there, because the folks that seem to know about the invading stuff didn't seem to know about them or care or something. But when people touch them, it seems more related to where they're from or supposed to be, rather than where the crystals are from. Because some of us are having these Asgard visions, some people are going to see elves. It's not all going to the same place.
okay.
yeah, because
so
I mean,
that's-
you guys went to Asgard. I definitely was at the Winter Court.
Right.
Now that I know more context, so that is
But
interesting.
you're Gary's from Asgard?
Well, I think Gary was just partially we were with Gideon, but Gary's dead, and so I think it was more Gary's supposed to be there because he's dead. I just got sucked in because I'm with Gary.
No, I'm wondering what would happen. Like, I don't want to do any drugs or anything. The last thing I need for my scholarship is for
A
A
drug
drug
test come back
charge?
negative.
some alien drug test pop.
Well, in fairness, I don't think alien drugs would show up on a typical drug test, but I mean, who knows?
And also, you just in general don't want to. I don't recommend. I don't.
Drugs are
at
bad
all
regardless of
recommend.
scholarship status. So let's
Well,
get
that
out of
too,
the-
but like
Well,
also, like, you just don't want to. The
yeah,
vision thing,
but
not
I
a
mean,
pleasant time. So like, just stay away from them.
Drug abuse is bad. Pharmaceuticals
I'm so
are a tool.
curious. Where would Lily go? Who knows?
Well, it's also
Here,
it seems
any of the
like
crystals.
they don't
Lily
react
just
to
kind of on her belly,
everybody.
just kind of sneaking over, just gonna
So
look at them.
who specifically has attempted to interact with them physically and nothing has happened?
I think Zan, for one, Aegis touched it. Nothing happened. Like zilch, nothing. He had some mild concerns about crystal cancer because he's not a powered individual, but he was fine. I think Synapse said that she had touched one and nothing happened a long time ago. Honestly, don't know.
Is there one in the
if
room?
it really is. I mean, I got one. There's two over there in secure storage or something.
I'm gonna poke Cal's crystal.
Stop.
Uh-oh.
My turn to interpose.
I'll just
You
hold
see
up the
evil
gnome
little
in my
smile on his
hand.
face? Why are you doing this?
Penny doesn't say anything out loud, but her face is definitely doing the Willy Wonka. No, don't stop.
For
You're
science.
She is
What's that?
she is definitely watching this intently.
You're touching
that?
the crystal?
Yeah, I'll touch it.
Cal pulls out.
Well,
But just the tip.
stop.
It's like Saturday all over again.
Yeah, it's not much different. You going back and forth. It's like home sweet home either way.
It's spreading.
Cannot wait to join us out of you.
So you, Cal pulls out Red Shard, pulls it out. You reach out, whole hand, touch it, just a fingertip. What are we talking? Lick it.
She'll fingertip, and if nothing happens, then she'll whole hand. Like to a grip, you know what I mean?
Like checking the hot stove kind of a thing.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Give me a no.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
happens. You just flat palm it.
Technically, I think I turned this one off. I don't really know if I can turn it back on though. It still gave Gideon a vision when he touched it, so I don't know how that works.
Liz is going to jump up and poke it.
Well, so far it seems like the only people who have touched it and have had visions out of our group are people who
Are
definitely
innately
seem
from-
to not be from this dimension in some way or another so far.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
So
Do you think if I touched it that I would also have some sort of vision?
I would almost be willing to bet money you're going to see something from Asgard. Yeah, you should try
Well,
it.
it really
Yeah, 'cause
depends on
Gideon
if
saw
Asgard
it.
is another planet or in fact another dimension, which I don't think anybody has really clearly established. Or if they have not told the general
but I
public.
mean if Gideon
The
said that
answer to
when
that
he touched it, they
question,
went to Asgard.
I think is yes.
So
It
yeah,
depends on
probably.
whether you're going from the movie or from the
Yeah.
comic. From the movie, it's technically a place, but not a place now, and it's somewhere in Norway. If it's the comic, then you're talking about an actual physical place that literally came to Midgard, flew over Nevada for a while, and then
As everything does.
bunkered back
Yeah.
off to.
Good old Broxton, Oklahoma.
I mean, because I mean, technically, I guess it depends on the way that you look at it, because technically you could say that the 9 realms are different dimensions in and of themselves. Because they're called the 9 realms and they're all realms that are completely separate from each other. And the only way that the Asgardians can get to them, like in the movies and stuff, is with the Bifrost. So I guess you could technically say that in their terms is a different dimension, kind of, sort of. Somehow.
Well, I mean, I can get to New York in a plane. I can also get to New York on a bicycle. It's just going to take way longer.
You know, so I don't know. Semantics.
That should be the name of the episode, Semantics.
Oh, if that one's turned off, wasn't really much of a test.
Well, I think they're all turned off. They still did things to my knowledge. I don't think they're safe if they're not turned off, because then gargoyles and crystal monsters and all the things that kept happening.
But then you also, because then that also leads into the argument of, are they still technically turned on when they have been grinded down into dust? Because if yes, then cool. If not, though, I still had a vision when hit with the dust. So that then puts that into question.
Well, I presume the drug making people aren't trying to turn them off before they make drugs, right?
Probably. I'm also beginning to
What
wonder.
exactly did you do to
Well, I just
Turn
mean
it
whoever's
off.
supplying them, are they like how's
I touched it.
were
I
you
think it's
but were you trying to do a thing or just happened?
no. I mean, I assume I turned it off like the first time I ever picked it up, but they gave me another one, and the same thing happened. It just kind of.
What's actually different about it? Like visually speaking. Like was there what made you aware that it had been turned off?
I think they stopped glowing, right? Like they normally have like a purple glow, and that kind of fizzles out when they get turned on.
Turned on, very technical.
There was a word in there, and it just went. Just like
Deactivated?
that. It was like the gnome. It just.
yeah.
Was that correct, Mike? They were glowing, and then they weren't.
Are you thinking about it? Or did you not hear the question?
Who's that? Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's you.
You.
Did not hear the question.
Oh yeah, we were saying when they're deactivated, did they? Because they were glowing and then they ceased glowing or something, right? That was how we could.
They
tell
actually
they
they were
deactivated.
glowing, and then they reduced themselves essentially to, for want of a better description, pulse. But what you remember noticing, mind you, and what you experienced when you touched one that wasn't yours, it altered its pulse rate to match the one that you own and that you touched. So
Damn.
your pulse is running different from, say, Solstice's pulse, that the one he touched.
Yeah, that was
Almost
the
like
other thing.
it's synchronized, or what's the word that I'm looking for? Attuned.
I mean, if we really want to test this, if we want to test whether or not it's still working, since it didn't work with Liberty last, we I don't want to
know
anymore.
the last
Don't do
person
it.
from where you're from that touched it went poof. Like that's probably not good.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't then.
Well, if you don't mind, I would be happy to test it. I'm sure.
Well, if you get sent home, you can just come back, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
If I get sent to the winter court, I don't think I'm coming back.
We can
That's
tie a
probably-
rope to you.
No,
Sorry.
I don't.
I
That's
did
more
want to
scientific
ask.
than what we did.
Are you, Penny's speaking to Brigitte here?
Hmm.
Sorry, did you say your name before? Because if you did, I immediately forgot it.
I don't recall if I did, but
Very fine. Just say it again.
I'm
then.
Birgitte of Asgard.
Okay. So, Brigitte, do you, how trivial exactly is it for people to come here from there? Like, do you have to have a good reason, or is it just like we can go to the mall?
It's not. I wouldn't say it's a trivial matter. I mean, I've been tasked with a mission of sorts, so Heimdall could certainly send me back.
Well, that's sort of what I was getting at. Is that what are you doing here?
Yes, no, I've been tasked by the Allfather Thor to retrieve information or intel about some missing Asgardian weapons of great power. And to that end, I've endeavored to join your team, I suppose, to aid the heroes of Midgard and see if you perhaps have some intel or some guidance that I might take advantage of.
Sure.
Are
What
these
did
crystals?
they look like?
Where was the
Um,
last place you saw them?
They would have been guarded in one of the vaults of Asgard, but the Allfather wasn't able to get a clear vision on the thieves or when they actually were stolen. Some form of magic was blocking his sight, which is impressive in and of itself. There would have been a shield, I believe, a glaive. I don't think they were crystals, proper weapons.
The hubcap didn't come from Asgard, did it?
I don't believe so. I'm not entirely certain what a vault
I really
I
hope-
totally hand her my
Would really
hubcap
hope-
shield.
That the hubcap did not come from Asgard, because how?
That was my first thought. She's like, I'm searching for a mystical shield, and I was like, oh god, don't tell me the hubcap actually came from Asgard.
Wasn't that made in like a garage? Like, was the hubcap not from like a scrapyard or something?
It is from a scrapyard, and it's been like double reinforced.
Really hope that your guy didn't just get this hubcap from Asgard on accident.
Stranger things. I mean,
Alexi
that's the
kinda
only
sits
shield
there.
I know about.
Alexi kind of sits there and then goes, "Hang on, a question." Because I vaguely know mythology. I'm kind of pagan a little bit. I thought Odin was the Allfather. That's definitely not the name you said. What?
No, Odin has not been Allfather in some time. Thor, his son, of course, has now ascended to the role.
Oh, okay.
It's a title more than a name. We kind of got stuck on it for a minute too. It's
okay. Yeah, just knowing what I know, because again, pagan, but I won't quite. That's not my. I follow Greek pantheons, not Norse, so I won't ask any more about that. I was just weirded out for a second. I'll get used to
No,
it.
it's no trouble.
Wait till you get a hold of
I was
Gideon.
about to touch the crystal, but I did. After the threats from my parents, I don't know if that's a smart idea because if I get stuck in the winter court, I don't think that's gonna end well for me.
The last
Oh.
thing we need is more people stuck wherever that is. We don't even know how to get
So I
there.
don't. And also because my life is a little bit on the line.
Just a smidge.
So
Your life is important to us. We don't want you touching it.
I don't know if my
So-
dad will follow through on his threats, so I can't.
He seemed pretty pissed, I gotta say. I mean,
Yeah, it was bad.
he was a literal bear.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
still
so
think
don't-
I could take him.
I don't know if I should be touching any more of the crystals, just in
Yeah,
case.
probably.
In a
no, I
fight
wouldn't
or
do
on a date?
Lily.
Fight. Oh, not my type.
And I
So-
also have both parents. Hang on.
If it would pose a danger to you, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, maybe we
just-
let the Valkyrie do it. I don't know.
Yeah, do you want to fight
But
the
I want to
giant
poke the thing.
nine
But see,
foot
I
bear
don't.
that
I
is
don't
my
know where
father?
you're from though. I'm worried because you got people looking for you that might be back where you're from, and we don't want you to go there.
Yeah, your parents are also not good people. So, yeah. Welcome to the team.
So I
It's a
feel like
mess.
we actually need someone who has in fact touched one of these crystals, ideally this specific crystal before, and something happened, to touch it again now to see whether or not it is in fact off. Because if it is, then all the other tests we're doing are pointless because it's off.
Well, no, like I said, after it was off, it still gave Gideon a vision, so it wasn't like an on-off thing because he touched it like yesterday. Like it was right before we touched the drugs and we went and saw the underworld. He touched the crystal and he got a vision of an Asgard battle against the Dark Elves or something.
Okay, and he doesn't normally get visions when he touches random things.
No,
Okay,
not to my
'cause
knowledge.
It is important to rule that out because
No.
Mm.
But I have reason to believe he's an Asgardian, or used to be.
sure.
You ever stop being one?
He doesn't seem to remember it.
Concerning.
Are you still
mean-
you if you don't remember who you are?
Most people from New York still consider themselves New Yorkers even when they live in Ohio.
I wouldn't want to overstep, but if there's no objection, I'm happy to just
I mean, I don't
I
think it
give
could
it a
hurt.
shot.
I mean, yeah.
If you have a like a it wouldn't be bad to have more information, and everything we are doing will, well, at least is giving me information. But that's entirely up to you.
No, of
Lily
course, I'm.
is going to go ahead first.
Oh, no, I'm sure wherever I end up, be it Asgard or elsewhere among the realms, I'm quite equipped to handle myself, and I'm sure Heimdall could get me back regardless.
That seems like the safer option than accidentally losing a second team member.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I don't.
Lily is
So
going
it's
to
not-
grab a piece of paper and pen and like draw it and be like, "It's not science if you don't write it down."
Of course, I'll
Well,
take
scientist in the making.
I'll take this and I'll be
Sorry.
sure to record my findings.
Good.
And I'll go ahead and touch the crystal.
Building collapses.
Don't met us like that.
Everybody else explodes into Thanos dust. Game over.
Oh, end of the
Rip.
campaign.
Revenge of the Gnome.
Babu walks across the screen with the Infinity Gauntlet.
That would be hilarious.
Would Babu kill Samantha
April
and
Fool-
Lily?
April Fool's is coming up soon. That would be pretty funny.
I don't think Babu would kill Samantha and Lily. But
I do.
He was
I'm
right
not-
there. You don't know. He was about to go full Chucky. You don't even know.
They are working. I do. You want to know why I do? Because they work for my parents, who definitely knew about the invasion the entire time.
Maybe he was like a slave who was trying to escape. and we killed him instead
No.
of helping him escape. Maybe we're
Yeah,
horrible
that would
people.
You
make
could have been a
sense. That would make sense.
conscientious objector.
Yeah, but you have to remember all the gnomes are missing, not just Babu.
Yeah, the rest of
So
them
Well,
something.
that
would you be easy
I'm
to
a little
find if
less
somebody
inclined.
just killed your friend?
That was before we
You
killed
want to
them.
know why they're missing? Because they're probably following me.
Probably
Oh.
following you because you killed Babu.
No.
All right. So
I ate a long flamingo.
with all of this, Brigitte decides to touch the crystal.
Should have got her to sign a
Everybody
waiver.
give me a vigilance check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Vigilance, vigilance, oh, vigilance. Ba-doop, boop, boop. 14.
Great.
14.
I
Oh,
got
no. 17. Sorry.
Yeah, I got a 10.
Rip.
I have 17 if I need.
11.
11. No, I got a 14, but every time someone says 11, I have to say 11 afterwards because it reminds me of the Pizza song.
You know what? That's so valid.
8, 6, 7, 11, 11.
Yes.
That's an old ad.
Wait. I'm remembering a thing. I have edge on vigilance checks because I have investigation. So hold on.
Hooray!
Should
You
I
also
reroll
get
the
it-
Marvel
You
dice?
also get it from enhanced senses or heightened senses too, I think.
Oh yeah, probably, huh? Yeah, I definitely get at least from investigation.
Double edge,
though.
in fact.
Unlike 3rd edition D&D.
I'm gonna reroll my Marvel dice. So hang on.
Yeah, so I have a 19.
Come on, reroll. It's still a 10. Great.
You can do it again.
Intense.
Do double edge.
I am
Hold on,
loving.
let me-
What did Dora get?
19.
That's what I figured.
Oh yeah, I guess I do also have an edge on. Yeah, okay. I guess I'll do. Do you want me just to keep rolling?
You can if you
Yeah.
want.
That's how it works.
Rolling.
All right,
Edge,
I'll
edge stacks.
I will re-roll again. Yeah, so does that mean I get 3 edge since I have double edge on vigilance with heightened senses? Is that how that works?
You have double
Yeah.
edge.
Yep. One for
All right.
investigation.
Any
2 for
edges
sense.
as you have, those are the number of times you can reroll.
Okay. I think that's I think that would be I don't think I have edge on vigilance from anything else. Not that I remember. So okay. This is roll number 2. And that's an 11. So I'm gonna do it one more time. But I'm not gonna reroll the Marvel dice again because the Marvel dice hates me.
I mean, I re-rolled my Marvel die from a 2 into a regular 6, so it's fine.
Well, re-rolling the other dice works because it gave me a 14 at least.
Lots of successes all around. Everybody is paying rapt attention to this crystal. Now, you are holding it out, or you're just leaving it on the table and
Yeah, I presume I just held it out. Like, here you go. That's what I did with Liberty Last. You got to do it the same way every time. That's how science works.
Bye,
Or
Tom.
is the definition of insanity, depending on how you look at it, but like what you're thinking about this.
I would tell you that
because yeah,
genius lives in a loft apartment over insanity.
Okay. You're holding. So. Brigitte, your senses black momentarily. You open your eyes again, or at least it feels like you open your eyes. And you're in a landscape, very loosely, darkened red skies. As far as the eye can see, and a panoramic view all around you. The ground rocky and uneven. On closer inspection, that's because the rockiness is blackened bone, skulls, and bodies everywhere. Just sort of almost like a carpet layer. And among all of this, your eyes, so as you're looking around, a throne, polished skulls, various forms, some human, some humanoid, some not, and a woman whom you recognize, never met, never really seen, but you know exactly who this is. And she looks perplexed. Why are you in my domain, daughter of Asgard?
Apologies. I did not expect to wind up here. I was transported here by some sort of crystal, I suppose. I didn't mean to intrude on your domain.
But you have.
No, of course. I'm sure. I don't mean to get in your business. I'll see if I can find my way back. I don't suppose there's a way for you to send me back, is there?
You wish me use my great power, send you back. Back to where?
To Midgard.
Why are you in Midgard?
Can I actually try to reach out to Heimdall in my mind? Just
The
I'll
panic
tell
looks on
secret
both
is
me
this.
and Dora's faces right now.
No, no.
Oh, can you hear me?
Just mind like, hey yo, I'm not, get me out of this place. Take me home.
Heimdall's rolling a vigilance check.
Yeah.
Everybody roll me a d6.
Heimdall, help.
6.
I got a 1,
2.
3.
Also 2.
which we're counting as the Marvel face, I'm assuming.
So 1, 2, 2, 3, 6, 14. Eat.
Oh, sorry. 2.
Okay. 16. So you're mumbling under your breath. You're
Yeah. Just, Heimdall, are you there? Can you hear me?
well. What are you waiting for? Why are you in Midgard?
I'm there as part of my training as a Valkyrie.
You think the lie. The daughter of lies. To one who can see through your soul.
No, I hadn't quite thought it through all the
What?
way.
Is Odin's son doing? Sending someone as stripling as yourself to Midgard?
I suppose perhaps as a test?
Task. What kind of task?
I don't know
What
that
do you
I'm
do
at
with those
liberty.
dwarves?
I don't know that I'm at liberty to say. It doesn't involve the dwarves though, I
I
don't
can
think.
keep you here until you tell me.
It doesn't involve the dwarves, not directly at least.
There's far too many things happening all at the same time to be of anything close to coincidence. Just what you hear in your mind. What are you doing? And you almost that moment before a lightning strike, the hair on your arm stands up. You start to smell the ozone in the air, and suddenly everything goes white light. Your pupils are like, you get that, you just stared at not only the sun, but all the bright lights in existence, and you got all the dots in your vision. Your vision clears, and you're in the throne room.
And Thor's there?
Did I not send you to Midgard?
Apologies, Your Majesty. I was investigating an artifact that we found on Midgard that seemed capable of transporting people across the realms. I did not expect to end up in Niflheim, but that's very
But
strange.
you're not here.
Sorry?
You're not here. That's the curious. You're here as an apparition.
Oh,
Your consciousness is followed.
I'm still physically on Midgard then.
You are.
Curious. I apologize for putting you out of your way. I don't know if Heimdall is able to send me back if I'm not physically here.
Devious magic is wants to get. So I will look into this.
Of course.
Till then, resume the tasks I set before. He picks up his hammer, starts spinning it. Lightning sort of gathers from unknown source into the Vex vortex that he's creating, and lightning leaps from it, strikes you. And again, bright light, white blinding, and you're back in the lab. But everyone looking at, I guess, around you, about a 10-foot arc circle all around Brigitte, Nordic runes on the floor. And sort of just like little sort of sparks of electricity sort of leaping between them.
That doesn't look like it's off, Cal.
Definitely doesn't look off.
I didn't do that. That didn't happen last
Alexi's
time.
taking a few steps back, just being like,
Do we have a defibrillator? Do defibrillators work on Asgardians? We did not prepare for this.
I feel like we should discuss the ruins on the floor first before. No.
Okay. Sort of almost like the electricity sort of just trickles into the.
See, it's fine.
That's no okay. My definition.
Is she grounded?
Yes.
Yes, she has been. If you mean,
I mean,
Like from an electromechanical, electromagnetic
So
sense.
who's
or-
gonna check on her? to make sure
like,
she's
is
okay?
her
I'm
hair
still
like?
waiting for the scene to be finished describing. How does she look? Okay, how's she doing?
Am I conscious?
she's probably blinking a lot more than you do, but blinded twice. But otherwise, your consciousness is there. You see everyone around you. back where you started.
Apologies. The Allfather had to send me back himself. I didn't manage to take any notes for you. I'm sorry.
Where did you
No
go?
science.
Where did the notes don't matter what happened.
Well, I wound up in Niflheim, with Lady Hella, just like you had said before.
Are you dead too?
No, not to my knowledge.
Oh.
Not at all.
That ruins that theory.
I don't
Well-
know if perhaps because you were touching the crystal? But that
Oh,
Huh.
I don't know though.
Do Valkyries actually do the like gathering souls of the dead thing, or is that a deeply misunderstood part?
I know that's correct. I suppose
oh
maybe
shit.
that does
Ariel,
make
you
some
alright?
sense. But no, we are tasked
Ah,
with
cool.
guiding the souls to the Asgardian afterlife.
Okay.
Ah, she's cool. I know where to go.
I was just telling Gary to act cool because apparently she gathers souls and takes them back to Niflheim. And I didn't want him to get abducted.
Oh.
I certainly have no intention of abducting your compatriot.
Yeah, how would that even work though? How would that affect you? Would that then also like I don't want to that doesn't sound like it'd go well.
No idea.
All right. So Mike, while I was staring intently, did I manage to, and when I say I mean Beauty,
Yep.
Aye.
get anything useful out of that interlude?
When you're staring at Brigitte?
Yes.
Not really. Other than
I mean, the end part, I presume. There was something.
the end part, you picked up a massive spike in the electromagnetic spectrum, and she just almost like she started sort of glowing from within, and it you kind of play it back, and you're kind of seeing how it sort of erupted from her, and then sort of almost like the briefest nanosecond, just like a column of electrical something, just a brief sort of flash of electromagnetic energy, and then the runes, and then the little leaping little electrical print.
Seemed like it transported my consciousness as almost some form of astral projecting, perhaps.
That was what I mean. That's consistent with what happened with Alexei the first time.
Yeah,
Although,
but this
do you have any? Do you have any? Like, did your shoes change color or anything weird? Like, I don't. Just do a once over.
Just singed.
Nope.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, Lexi's kind of like that's a thing that how do I phrase this in a way that doesn't freak everybody else out too? Along with the whole my parents knew about the invasion and everything happening, apparently they also knew about my weird little vision to the winter court and about the shoe changing color thing. They would not explain it to me, but apparently that I guess was kind of intentional somehow, which is another concerning thing. But also on top of that, the astral projection doesn't explain how Solstice actually got teleported and nobody else did. This is why I'm not touching the crystal again so far. I don't know if I want to test this, but again,
Technically,
everybody else went to Asgard. Solstice disappeared.
he touched the drugs, which in all fairness is just ground up crystals, but it wasn't one of the actual crystals, it was the drugs. Presumably the crystal is just very condensed drugs, but
Well, yeah.
That is a very backwards way of looking at it, but technically, yes. I'm definitely going to tell the next person who asks what this is that it is very condensed drugs. That's the perfect way of describing it.
Mhm.
Chicken egg.
So, okay. Synapse is able to use mental communication, right?
Yes.
And there's hypothetically no distance limitation to that as long as
Correct.
you're not literally beyond a dimensional wall, right?
Correct.
I mean, I'm asking people this, not the
Oh, sorry.
nerd.
Yeah, but that's the way that's the way she explained it. Yeah. It was-
Okay, so did she try contacting Solstice?
Well, that's yeah. Before, so she was in a room. We were doing the experiments. Solstice went, "Pfft," and then we had a vision. And as soon as we came out of the vision, she was screaming at everybody that Solstice was gone because she lost that.
Okay,
Oh,
so
also-
so definitely either different dimension or no longer exists.
True. Also, we had what was his name? Heimdall. We had Heimdall look for him. Apparently, that dude can see everything in every dimension, and he couldn't see him either.
Yes, it would take an immense amount of magical power to shield someone from Heimdall's gaze.
Just
Mm.
nah,
Small
it's fine.
question. Does Heimdall have a phone?
No.
I love Lily so much.
Okay, good.
His gaze is
Okay.
able to see anyone on any of the planes, so we can communicate with him directly. Not via one of your phones, though.
He also couldn't see those weapons you're looking for, right?
True. The thieves were shielded from his gaze also. And curiously, your friend Gideon, I believe, as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he couldn't see him either. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
see if it
That's
needs
a whole.
see much, can he?
I'm starting to think he's a little
Usually he can see
overhyped,
anything.
honestly.
Well, yes, Gideon has a very specific sensory.
You
I
had
don't know-
issues
I don't know
seeing
a good
stuff
word
too.
for it.
That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot. Yeah, nobody can see him like correctly.
Hmm.
One
Can
presumes.
Heimdall see why kids love cinnamon toast crunch?
I'm not familiar. I could ask
That's
him.
a throwback. I like it.
Oh, Lily. Oh, Lily.
Perhaps I'll wait though. I'm
Passions.
afraid that I might have irked the Allfather somewhat. Perhaps now is not a great time to reach out to Heimdall.
Very, very fair. So I'm gonna go off on a brief tangent that we bumped into a couple
Go
minutes
for it.
ago. Invasion?
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You missed that.
Sorry? You mentioned the what?
Cal, you can explain your part and then I can explain my part. Do you want to tag team this?
Yeah. So we've known for a while that there was something going on. We haven't quite understood what it was, but this weird stuff keeps happening. When we were talking with the other folks, the other team, they mentioned someone was talking about an invasion. We mentioned it to Hella. She said they didn't know about it and that it was weird that they didn't know about it. And based on Gideon's visions, this has happened before, or at least the Asgardians have fought them like this before. Anyway, they're invading. They want to take over Earth, this dimension. Is that the same thing? I don't know.
Not really, but sure. Go ahead.
They're coming here. And Alexi's parents are in on it.
Yeah. So I went to confront them about it because I said partially part of this I will admit is my fault. I sent a slightly concerning text which turned into a phone call, but that phone call went so weirdly that I was like, hey, I think we should like go check on my parents, right? Didn't want to go alone because it was really weird and I didn't trust it. So they're a part of the Winter Court under the map we mentioned under her rule. Apparently that's just my heritage. And they've known about everything this entire time, including the invasion by the Winter Court, I'm guessing. and about everything that's been going on with me, and about just all of it. I couldn't get a whole lot of detail out of them because they refused to answer any of my questions, because I apparently wasn't, in their terms, quote unquote, ready.
They were
So I
being a
couldn't
little
get any.
kidnappy too.
Yeah, they were definitely gonna try to drag me away with them. Definitely did. It was bad. I told them I wasn't going to side with them in an invasion against Earth, and well, that made people upset. So they've known the entire time.
Lily kind of raises her hand very carefully, and she's like, "So who's the Winter Court exactly?"
I can't answer that question either because I barely know myself.
Okay.
Again, my parents won't tell me anything, really.
I mean,
So it's
apparently,
bad.
Mythologically speaking, the berries are attached to seasons, and the winter and summer are the big ones, and the other ones are just sort of hangers on. I'm not really sure how that works, but
Fairies. Just don't give them your name. It's fine.
That's
you're
not
not
quite how
entirely.
it works.
It's
But
not
okay.
fine, but that's good advice anyway. I think.
Yeah, no,
So from what we
Unless
get,
you're like trans and then you don't want your name anymore. I guess you could give them your name.
yeah,
that's
I've
the
read that
intent is
story.
there, and I love it, Lily. But that's not. It's going to be so much worse than that. So the invasion is not bad. Bad fairies, not good fairies. Don't
yeah,
give
no,
they,
they don't
one.
like
Don't
us.
give them your name. Two, we definitely have to make sure that they don't come here. So
Here's a great question. Why? Why are they invading?
see, I again
Boredom.
cannot get any answers. My dad mentioned that he was siding with them because he wanted this place to be like his old home in the Winter Court, and he liked how
Avalon.
it was there, so he wants it to be like that here. But that's it. That's all I
Colonialism.
could get from him. So
Okay.
they was a lot of humans are inferior. This place sucks sort of vibes. So
Yeah. So
I
we
resent
know
that.
you should.
yeah, no, yeah.
We know the Fae. Let's collectively call them because they're not all elves, as we figured out. The Fae are one of the big players. The Asgardians historically have fought them, but aren't involved in this particular skirmish, at least currently, or even know that it's happening, which again was apparently concerning to some of them. And then there's the crystals, which we're starting to think didn't come from the Fae, and we know didn't come from the Asgardians. So we don't know where they came from, what they do, and why they're here.
I mean, when I had my original vision, the map definitely mentioned something about an interferer, so I don't know if that's
Yeah.
related to the crystals. And also because I'm just remembering, my dad definitely had some really weird disdain when because the summer court was mentioned. My dad had some
About
really weird
Oberon.
disdain about Oberon. Like it
Yeah.
was like really like venomous disgust, and I was like, that doesn't okay. So I don't know if that
I
is
kind of thought your
also
mom.
then
I kind of
involved.
assumed that your
Oberon
mom
would be
used to date him or
summer court
something.
guy. Yes, so presumably.
So I don't know if that is like also connected in a way.
I wonder if the
Maybe.
crystals come from my mom.
Is that a
Also
thing
concerning.
she normally does?
Why?
Dunno.
Why would we posit that as a theory? Does your mom often manifest things like you do?
Yeah, Lily? Where's she getting the crystals from? Do you are they just showing up, or how's that? What?
I don't know. It was just a thought I had.
Well, okay, that's
I think
Concerning.
valid, not super specific. Like
Mm.
with we have to narrow things down in testable ways, right? That's the science. We could as equally say that the crystals all come from squirrels. We don't know that they don't because we haven't ruled it out.
I think the war is over. If
We don't
it
have a
came from them
specific
at the
reason
time.
to think that they came from squirrels. Did you
Yeah.
have a specific reason to think that they came from your mom?
Well, mom likes power.
That does distinguish her from squirrels, as far as I know.
I'm not so sure.
What are the chances that they do come from squirrels?
I would say
Beholder?
Well,
low.
it's unlike power.
I would
Okay,
say
just
low.
to I had to check. There's
But
a
I'm
lot of
thinking,
things I
like-
don't know about the universe, and the shards are
Well,
like
no,
top of
I
that
mean,
list.
okay, so technically that was not a random example because there's the girl from Michigan and there's some really weird shit going on there, but I don't know what it's about, so.
Not
But
a
I
problem.
just can't imagine that my mom would like big, scary fae coming in and ruining what she's trying to do.
Did
So
you ever
maybe she
figure
made the
out?
crystals to fix that.
Did you
Or
ever
maybe
figure
she
out
didn't make the crystals at all.
exactly what your mom was trying to do? I mean, you mentioned it was no good, but
Nope. Angel just says it's not good.
But I mean,
My big sister Angel.
oh, that's right. I forgot her name. I apologize.
Who is your mother, if you don't mind me asking?
Mike, does Lily know that?
But
Who her mother is? Specifically?
you would know her name as she raised you.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you ever
I
thought of
also
that?
have the names. Did you see me scrambling for my notes?
Her name is Celeste. That's all I know. She's a very powerful witch. Very scary.
Interesting.
People like that give us witches bad names.
LB's like, why is this none of this science?
So here's where I'm landing. We got people trying to invade.
Looking for a lever to pull. I'll find one eventually.
Yes.
I believe in you.
These crystals, I think, are in opposition to that in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of wanting to start to figure out what they do in case maybe we need to make them do what it is they're supposed to be doing. Because I don't think making gargoyles and stuff was the plan. Whoever put this plan in
No.
motion.
I mean, if we really, if we feel it really is necessary, I can attempt to touch the crystal.
So
Well,
I have
yeah.
I have a testable theory. So if the crystals are basically they are if I'm correct that they're fundamentally, transdimensional in some way, and that they are then when somebody comes into physical contact with them, resonating with that person's any kinds of dimensional energy that person might have associated with them, and thus the visions about places that they or their ancestors came from, I guess. So it strikes me as possible that if we could touch two crystals together, that we might then be able to trace one of the crystals back to where it came from.
Ooh.
Or at the very least, something might happen. And
in the second fact,
I want to
They
try
did.
that.
I
They
have
did.
thing that I'd like to try.
is it a testable theory? Because testable theories are first on the list before random dumb things. I'm just saying I'm letting it.
Well,
like,
it's not
if you-
completely random, okay?
Okay, sure. No, if you got a testable theory, throw it out. I just
I'm
wanna
not
hear-
I'm not sure if it'll do anything or not. I'm just wondering if we can use Cal's been carrying this one around for a while, and it's that it seems like it's got like hooked up to him in some way. What if we and it's transporting at least an astral image, is like that's what you guys are saying, right? And I'm not the most scientific minded person here, but Al and I both have the ability to move through space easier than the rest of you. What if we tried to use our powers to kind of focus that on those crystals and see what happened? Would it bring us to where it wanted us to go? It I mean, I'm speculating on the fact that maybe it's an anchor of some sort.
I mean, yeah, that kind of tracks because it's been taking. It seems to vaguely be taking, except for the one exception right now, that just happened. But it seems to be taking to people where they seem to originate from. Not that I technically originate from the Winter Corpus, since that's my like bloodline and heritage. That's where it took me. Solstice is also another outlier that I still don't want to think about. And then like everybody else went to Asgard or somewhere in the Norse realms, which is
So
where
what happened
they.
if Lily touched it?
I don't
Your
remember
mom's
Lily
from
touched it.
here, right? As far as you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Then it might be the same thing as Liberty Loss and nothing happens,
probably
because so
that
far
makes me less
everybody who's
worried.
touched it and nothing has happened to them, like kind of you and Liberty Less, and then
Wait a minute.
all technically come from here and have never been anywhere else.
What are the
Mhm.
odds that they're designed to send you home?
That's kind of vaguely what I was getting at, is it seems to be
let me-
sending you back to where you're
Like-
like
Like
from.
a magical eviction notice of some sort,
Or you
right?
just weaponize it against the invaders, just like a return to sender.
Because when I had my very first interaction with Mab, she was a little shocked that I was there and didn't seem to super like that I had found a way there once she realized that it was like something weird, because she definitely said it definitely was a point about interferers that she was not super happy with.
If you wanted to stop an invasion, like jumping straight to the headquarters and taking out the lead invader is kind of a good move. I mean, in general.
Yeah.
How do we know what kind? I mean, is she like? I assume. I mean, you can turn into animals. Do we know what she can do?
No, well, I mean, I don't. I would have to do some research into that, which I'm happy to do if the team feels it is needed. I don't know though.
But I like the idea touching them together, especially because we notice like when one person handles them, they all start to like resonate the same way. I feel like I almost feel like they're meant to become a thing. And then some idiot started grinding them up and trying to snort them because they're.
It should also be noted that that could be dangerous.
What?
In the sense that, it's like that, yes, if they are producing an effect that, if that effect can actually affect itself the way I kind of want it to in order to get more information, it could do that in a self-reinforcing way, which is how you get like nuclear explosions. It would
So what
probably
you're saying is we need
not be a nuclear explosion. It would be a whatever that is explosion, which that would be bad.
So we need
don't know if it would
goggles.
be any.
Sure.
You go grab some
I mean, I think
goggles,
like
Lily.
the
Yes,
two of us
you-
can
yeah.
probably withstand something like that. I don't know. Can you guys absorb?
I
Well,
mean, not if it destroys the planet.
I'm fairly certain I could take
I have
it
no ability
for
to breathe
like
in
a
space that
minute.
I'm aware of.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, if there's nowhere to come back to, sure, then we're all screwed. But
Yeah.
So
short-term plans.
But the thing is that because I'm just not getting anything off of them themselves, right? That I don't have any, because the trying to use transportation abilities like in conjunction with them, like that makes sense. But if we don't know how to apply it, that is equally dangerous.
I'm a little concerned about the getting back part because I've been there. I don't want to stay there. It was not cool. It's a little spooky. I mean, I've seen worse places, but I don't want to go there and stay either.
Did you get back the first time after your vision?
Just kind of shook it off after a minute.
there are 3 of them. could they each potentially hold like a coordinate of some kind? Like a map, it would have long latitude, longitude, and then altitude.
Well, presumably there's more. We
I
just
mean-
have 3.
Right.
Yeah, and
the
it
fact that we have 3 does seem to be sort of a random number. And also, if we're talking about a transdimensional energy channeling device, tracking
forget-
things in 3 dimensions specifically is probably not
that
quite
could be-
enough.
That could be why there's more. Mike, I think they told me, but is one of the ones we have here the one that was at the university, or is that one still chilling at the university?
That was still,
Okay, so we know about another one somewhere that we don't have.
I didn't realize it was
Also,
still there.
All of the ones that they ground up into less concentrated drugs.
Right, and a bunch of them got ground up
Yeah.
into the original concentration of drugs.
Yeah.
puzzles. Puzzles that need scientific explanation.
So
Or is
I
going to
don't know how to
crystals-
get that if we can't
crystals
do any
aside-
tests on them that give us any information whatsoever.
crystals aside, there's another problem that I didn't have the chance to broach with you guys before we dealt with the murder of Babu.
And that's not what. Okay, why
don't
is
think
that
that
what
was
the
the
most
issue of
important
the
thing
moment.
we're
Anyway,
taking from
never
that?
mind. Never mind.
It's fine. It's not like I'm still processing the betrayal of
Oh,
my
wait.
parents. I guess.
Do you think those guys are still waiting at with the thing,
What do you mean?
the trap?
Oh.
Barrel.
Oh, yeah.
We just kind of left them sitting there. It's been like, I don't know, 48 hours at this point or something. Like,
I mean, if they were there when the two of them got there, clearly they're waiting for someone. So I would think they would still be
you
there.
think they take shifts? I wonder how many of them there are.
Yeah,
That's a boring job.
I was thinking that we could collectively spring that trap.
I like that idea.
You like the
Because
idea
no one
of
will let
going
me-
to be deliberately shot at?
That's better than sitting
To
around
be
here
fair-
not letting me touch the thing.
That is
I've heard-
incorrect. You
I've-
have to
I've heard
adjust
you-
your judgment. That is
You-
false.
You were the one that was elated to get shot last week. I'm pointing out.
That was for
yeah,
science. This is science.
It just seems to be a lot of that going around. I'm saying, like, I personally don't like being shot at. But
yeah,
No, I
same.
specifically don't want to go to a place where 2 people might shoot at me at the same time.
But
Well,
only
it's
one is
also-
okay. You're
can't
excited
go
about
with
one.
family.
I'm
I
not.
was, and I
Well,
tested that, and that's fine, and I don't need to be excited about it anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's about drawing the boundaries, right?
It's the experience.
It's not about
Mhm.
deliberately being shot a bunch of times.
Hmm.
That would be crazy.
What are we doing?
Getting deliberately shot at the first time was a little insane, but okay.
So what
I'm used
exactly
to
is
it.
the point here? Like, did
People
you
shoot at me a lot.
the barrel wise? Like, did the part that you got, wasn't that the good part? The part with the things in it?
With the samples, yeah, or whatever it was that they had in there, but I wasn't able to get it out of I wasn't able to get away with it. So I stashed it on the roof. I tried to hide it as best I could, and I went and helped you guys with the chop shop. And then
So that is what they're guarding,
is
basically.
the
as a trap?
barrel.
The piece,
And I'm pretty
the
sure the
hat that you had.
barrel is gone now, but the guards might know something about where it went.
Presumably,
And-
if they set a trap, they didn't leave the goods there, because why would they?
Yeah,
Well, because
Yeah.
traps need bait.
but
I mean,
Well, you
I'm-
could have
I'm-
fake goods. It was a barrel.
yeah. My hope is that we'll able to get some information from the guards in regards to what Chrysalis is doing. I mean, we're kind of at a dead end for crystals at the moment.
not if they got a crystal detector working, which apparently they did.
They did
Did
actually.
they?
Yeah, it
Did
was-
they do that with science or nonsense?
Well,
I mean, they found my butt from 3 floors up. So,
Mysterious bottom.
well, I had the crystal in my back pocket.
Sure. But I mean, what exactly did they make?
It's like a gun. It's got some dials on it. They were following it around.
a gun that detects things.
I mean, like
You made a
radar
divining
gun,
rod?
Oh, okay.
not an actual gun.
Well, some people
They
are
made
just
a crystal divining rod.
Honestly, we've seen crazier
Kinda.
in the past like week, so I wouldn't be surprised if it were an actual gun.
shoots. It shoots.
We
ignorance.
are in America.
Okay. Did they like have it or did they leave it around?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in here somewhere. It's like
Lily is going to look for it.
Is this it? Is this it?
So let's take a quick break while everybody searches for the crystal divining rod thing. I've kept them on their seats long enough. So take a 5-minute break. Go get some snacks, get some water. Back for the rest of us. See you in 5.